to me, when I listen to your podcast, you and Paulie, the most funniest thing I heard is with the Pacquiao thing. Now, about Pacquiao, you guys are talking about. Now, I want to hear your take on Pacquiao talking about the salt water what healed him. And what's your take on Pacquiao saying that his arm is healed from the salt water and from the salt water injury? What's your take on that shit?
I think it's fucking ridiculous. It just shows you. I mean, he didn't do any rehab, right? I mean, he didn't announce that he was doing any rehab. He didn't have any surgery, and all of a sudden, just from salt water, he's healed. I mean, was it salt water or was it holy water? I mean, where's this guy coming from with these remedies? You know what I mean? Like, look at Kobe Bryant. I don't know if you guys followed, but I mean, I'm a big Kobe Bryant fan, and it actually bothered me to see that he tore his rotator cuff, his shoulder, the way he did because he had just came over the Achilles tendon tear. So we really didn't get to see him play much, and then he tore his shoulder. A couple of weeks ago, he just put on Instagram after all the rehab, finally get to shoot a ball. Like, this dude all of a sudden comes out within like 3 months and says that he's ready to fight again because of salt water. I mean, anybody that believes it to me is not the brightest person in the box of crayons. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. I agree with you, man. You had Pacquiao making all that excuses. What's your take on Pacquiao making all these excuses as him as a professional, and how do you rate him now after the Mayweather fight with the saltwater thing and just the way he's conducting himself?
He makes a lot of excuses because to me he's an egomaniac, and having gone all those years without doing random testing, and you're knocking out all these big names, and if you're not knocking them out, you're breaking their face, and you pretty much become invincible, and you become this monster. Now all of a sudden you got broken down to size, and you got exposed for what you really are. Pacquiao, when he was younger, and he was at those lightweights, the 130s, the 126s, the 122s, he was having great fights with great fighters. But it was, is he going to pull this one off? This is a good one. It was a close fight. It could have went either way. He had lost to Morales. He had life and death battles with Juan Manuel Marquez, which, in my opinion, because I was a Pacquiao fan at that time, but I thought Marquez won all of them. Obviously, the judge dropped the ball because technically you get knocked down 3 times. It's supposed to be a 10-6 round. But that being said, that made it a draw. But if you look deeper into that first fight, getting dropped 3 times in the first round, but still coming up with a draw means that he won most of the rounds. So it just shows you who the better boxer is and has been, and it's been Marquez. So then after that, he starts to come up, and out of nowhere, he starts just knocking everybody out. I don't I don't buy fairy tale stories. I don't believe that you all of a sudden can improve in power, especially moving up in weight. Boxing is a sport that you move up in weight because you have trouble making weight. Your body grows, your muscles grow, you get older, it gets harder to lose the weight. So you go up in weight, the one thing you lose is power. You don't gain it. The best fighters, you name them as they went up, they stopped getting knockouts. Felix Trinidad would knock everybody out at 147. Move up to 154, still very dangerous. Move up to 160, and you see what happens when Bernard Hopkins and Winky Wright fought him. It's just, he wasn't the same guy. So, those are the normal, typical situations. What everybody watched for these last 6 years or whatever with Pacquiao is not normal. But unfortunately, with the media and all the hype, people want to believe that there's someone special out there. They want to believe that it's possible. It's really not. Lance Armstrong won all those Tour de France's. Listen, nobody's done it before. There's a reason why nobody's done it before. It's not possible, and if it is, it's really close to impossible. So it's really, really hard to do. That's why nobody's done it. This guy goes and does it, and then you find out years later he was doping. You know, it's really not that complicated to understand and to grasp. But again, media, oh, the guy had testicular cancer and he won all these races. Yeah, he was cheating. You know, it's very simple, guys. You know what I'm saying? And people just want to write about it and say that this guy's going to go down in history. You're going to compare Manny Pacquiao to Sugar Ray Leonard? Are you fucking kidding me? The guy just comes forward and throws punches. You're going to compare him to one of the best fighters ever? You're going to compare him to the likes of Pernell Whitaker and all these guys? Like, to me, it's a joke. You're going to compare him to Floyd Mayweather or, you know, go in any era. I mean, you're going to compare him to Muhammad Ali? You're talking about guys that have real skill in the ring generalship. They think as they're fighting, as the fight is evolving, they're thinking, they're making adjustments. He makes no adjustments whatsoever. He comes forward, he throws punches. How come the fourth round when he supposedly hurt Floyd, and Floyd backs up to the ropes, how come he stopped after throwing 4 or 5 punches? Because he was normal, he was human, he had to take a breath. Normally, you're not taking random testing. We're not going to make any accusations, but what would he normally do? He would throw 1,000 punches.
He'll keep throwing, yeah, he would. Yeah, I agree.
You know, so it wasn't that difficult for me to see. In the beginning, of course, you know, the fight that did it for me was when he beat Cotto. I was just like, I thought Cotto was going to kill him. I said they better bring a coffin to the ring because Cotto was going to kill this guy. And when he did that to Cotto, I was like, holy shit, this is for real. You know. But, again, people didn't want to believe it right away. And I'm not, you know, I'm a Floyd fan. Of course, I've always been, you know, but it's not just because I'm a fan. It's the truth. They've put their main focus on Floyd fight. Floyd signed the contract. Floyd signed the contract. If they would have put that effort on Pacquiao take the test, Pacquiao take the test, none of that hype would have happened. All that hype would have been gone. And you would have seen him get exposed in 2008, in 2009. And guess what? He owes Mayweather a fucking blowjob because he was able to earn over $100 million while Floyd was telling him to take the test. And then on top of it, to end it all off, he made $125 million when he finally agreed to take the test years later. So the guy was able to earn about $200 and something million because Floyd told him, take the test or we're not fighting. But it's only in boxing that you hear this shit.
All right, man. Hey, man, one more question. What's your take on Triple G? And is he the truth for you? And does him and the David Lemieux fight, is it pay-per-view worthy? And does that make you think Triple G is good? When he unifies the belts, he's going to be the real deal? I mean, some people think he is already. What's your take on Triple G?
I think he's the real deal, and I'm a fan. You know, sometimes I may come off as a hater when I talk about Triple G, and it's not the case. I like the guy. He's very likable. He's exciting to watch. But they're crowning him as king when he's not king. You know, again, it's okay for Floyd to move up however many pounds. That's fine. They will just want to see him fight everybody. But Triple G can't move up to fight Andre Ward. But he was willing to do it to fight Froch. That's where I have an issue. Why? So style-wise, if the style's better for you, you'll do it. But to prove that you're the best is not enough. That's an issue for me. Is he the real deal? Of course he is. The guy punches harder than almost anybody in the sport. It's 100% fact. You can tell by other fighters' reaction when they get hit by him. Lemieux and Triple G, of course that should be pay-per-view. If Pacquiao and Mayweather put everybody to sleep for $100, why not let these guys make some money? And I'm going to buy it, you know, and everybody else should too. It's going to be explosive however long it lasts. And, yeah, Triple G is the real deal. But, you know, let's not be hypocrites. It's okay for Floyd to move up. It's okay for this one to move up. It's okay for Ward to go. Now, Ward is saying, this guy don't want to move up to fight me. So you know what? I'll move up and fight Kovalov after my next fight. It's always okay for everybody else to move up. but they don't want to see somebody lose, so they protect them. That's just not fair for me. Other than that, I respect the guy, and I am a fan.
All right, cool, man. Thanks. That